the power. Fight 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 the power. We got to fight the powers that be.
Public opinion outreach, Bill McDonald.
Mr. McDonald.
I sent out to council last week a scope of work for the surveying and outreach that you had requested, and I basically got the comments were that looked fairly good. I didn't have a lot of comment, although Councilmember Westman did have some editorial comment on some of the content. Prepared to send this out. I have over a dozen contractors that do this work that I can send it to and see what kind of a response we get. We had a limit of $25,000 for this work. I don't know that it'll take that much, but that's the limit. Take any comments the council may have on the scope of work and the details, and we're prepared to move ahead.
Councilmember Westman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At the study session, I did indicate the desire to possibly take a look at what AWC and MRSC, which is Municipal Research and Service Center of Washington, might have available to the cities for their use and guidance. Subsequently, I went on to the MRSC website, and I have downloaded and passed out this evening a listing of some of the publications that MRC does have available. And they do have some excellent ones having to do with citizen survey, suggestions and how to proceed with citizen surveys, how to conduct focus groups on page 3, as well as some rather specific articles set on page 4, effective approaches for getting the word out to citizens, item number 2. Item number 4, effective public participation and communication. Item number 7 on page 4, focus on feedback. Is anyone listening? Communicating about government spending, what we get for our dollars, and so on. Along with that, I also put into their search engine the priorities of government. And there's 126 articles there. Not all of them, mind you, would apply, but I did not bother to copy off all the reference on those, but I'm trying to note that reference material is available. Together with citizen surveys and that material under a separate category is available. Now, I realize, coming from our past meetings, that we do have 3 council members who are very concerned about the professional approach and having any sort of outreach program statistically valid, and that it be a cross-sectional survey, and that is noted. I felt that, yes, there are resources there that are available for usage. And I'm hesitant to go forward with an RFQ, recognizing that there is the possibility of cost savings if we had staff representation, council representation, and citizen representation on some advisory group to look over the reference material and determine is an independent local program would be best, or should it be an outside professional effort to be launched. So that's one particular choice. The second choice, I was pondering, well, my fellow council members wanted an outside reference. They wanted it professional. They wanted it to be no doubt of being biased or anything of this nature. So I sat down and looked at what was being proposed by Mr. McDonald, and I drafted a second item for consideration, and I put that out to the council members and to the administration, having to do with a more defined scope of what it is that we might be looking at. And I tried to think over very seriously what was mentioned that night at the study work session. Hopefully I have captured the spirit of what was said in the recommendation that I'm putting forth. One of the major facets of this is there is a limitation of $15,000 at the bottom. Now, to what extent we proceed on this, of course, it's the will of the majority of the council. But nevertheless, there are some choices in front of us, and perhaps as we proceed with our discussion on this topic, some sort of determination can be made of either using some sort of collaborative effort through an advisory committee to sort through and give an established direction, or if council wishes to proceed on its own and go to a request for qualifications, be it something that was recommended by myself or recommended by Bill McDonald or a collaboration of the two. I'd just like to have some choices out there for us to think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Westman. In the spirit of the working on process that we have been doing as a team, I'm going to ask the city clerk if this MRC information, if you've had an advance look, because this is a surprise to me to get it at my desk this afternoon. Do we have a copy for the record yet?
Mr. Westman also provided me with a copy this evening.
Thank you.